sign of time, unprecedented fires turned the sky over California and Oregon to bright orange and blood red. 2020 has been an incredibly tough year for the United States, but no part of the country has been more affected by the West Coast states. Throughout the year, everything happened one after another, and now unprecedented wildfires have turned the sky in vast areas of California and Oregon into bright orange and blood red. Many use the word apocalypse to describe what happened, and others say the sky looks like something out of a science fiction movie. And while hundreds of thousands of acres of land in Oregon and Washington have already burned, and more than 2 million acres in California have already burned, officials are warning that conditions will get worse as we move towards the teeth of the wildfire season. I can't remember a time in the state of Oregon when the sky turned completely red for a long time, but that's exactly what we witnessed on Wednesday. The following comes from an article titled "The Sky Over Oregon in Apocalyptic Scenes from a Situation Devastated by Forest Fires Turns Blood Red." Journalist Christine Pitavanik from KGW8 is heard explaining in the video. This right here is downtown Staten. You can see the red hue, the red-orange glow in the sky. There is ash falling visibly in front of the headlights of the car, but downtown basically empty, here beside a few people walking around. Can you imagine the panic that people living in that part of Oregon are feeling right now? According to Governor Kate Brown, this red sky is caused by an unprecedented fire incident. Oregon Governor Kate Brown said the incident is proving to be an unprecedented and significant fire event for our state. So far, an estimated 200,000 acres of land has been scorched. Of course, California has been dealing with unprecedented fire incidents for several weeks, and on Wednesday morning, San Francisco residents woke up to notice that the sky over their city turned pumpkin orange. Just when Bay Area residents thought the world outside couldn't get stranger. The sky Wednesday dimly glowed a pumpkin orange color you would expect to see on Mars. With wildfire smoke high aloft in the atmosphere, the sky was a sickly yellow on Tuesday. But today, a thicker blanket of toxic air is traveling overhead, and the color turned an even stranger, richer hue. And just like in Oregon, ash from nearby bushfires falls in large quantities. It is even reported that at one point, enough ash fell to appear as medium to heavy snow in the Bay Area. In some spots, the sooty air reached the ground, and National Weather Service forecaster Roger Guest said a weather spotter saw falling ash at Buchanan Field Airport in Concord. They reported a significant amount of ash, said Gass, almost to the point where it looked like moderate to heavy snow. This has been the worst bushfire session in the history of the state of California, and we have not even reached the heart of the wildfire session yet. More than 2 million acres of land have already been burned, and normally October and November are the worst months for wildfires in the state. Extreme heat and severe drought combine to create ideal conditions for wildfires to break out. And California Governor Gavin Newsom said there were 14,000 lightning strikes in the past 24 hours. California Governor Gavin Newsom said this was the largest fire session we have had in recent recorded history, as he declared a state of emergency. He blamed the cause of the fires on unprecedented temperatures, a heat dome, 14,000 lightning strikes over a 24-hour period, and 150 million plus dead trees related to a multi-year drought. I know California is a huge state, but 14,000 lightning strikes in a 24 hours period seem really extreme to me. I'm sure the authorities have a rational explanation of why there are so many lightning strikes, but is it possible that what happened goes beyond our usual rational explanations? What we do know is that there are literally dozens of fires happening in California every day, and firefighters are really struggling to contain them. Just yesterday, there were 43 new fires. The day before that, 49 fires. Ballant said, when a fire ignites right now, they are able to burn at explosive rates. But firefighters have done an amazing job at being able to contain most of these fires that are igniting. I really have a hard time imagining that this fire season could get worse in the state, but that's what the authorities tells us. In fact, the phrase much worse is used to describe what is potentially future. California's record-breaking fire season could get much worse in the coming days as powerful winds heighten the danger of more blazes while firefighters continue to struggle with destructive conflagrations. Across the state, intense Diablo winds are forecast for parts of Northern California this week, with Pacific Gas and Electric Company saying it would shut off power to numerous communities in hopes of avoiding new fires potentially sparked by downed power lines. If you look at the map of all the fires currently burning, almost the entire state seems to be on fire right now. So I'm not quite sure what worse would look like. In the end, this may be the last straw that motivates many people to finally leave the West Coast forever. Yes, the weather can be fine and there may be a lot of traditionally high-paying jobs out there, but the West Coast is definitely not the place you want to be in during the tough years ahead. When the sky turns apocalyptic colors and the ash begins to fall so heavily, it reminds people of heavy snow, which is probably a sign that you need to reconsider where you currently live. For me, 2020 has been a year full of warnings, but unfortunately, I don't think most people are listening yet.
Most of the idea, comment, information, and criticism containing in these videos have been created by Daily News Report. Before making any important investment decision, use the information contained in these videos as a starting point for conducting your own research. If you make any investment or legal decision, it is advised to consult an expert before making this decision.